Welcome to today's conversation. Today we have an interesting conversation. Today we've gone to the arts world. We'll discuss the politics, but it's about the arts today. There was a golden period of comedy, and in those days we only had one channel, ZNBC. So people would sit around after news, to watch Sauzande and Maximo, Danny Kanengoki, in their pioneering comedy of Play Seiko. But as we became a multi-party and new stations were allowed, there was an emerging phenomenon that occurred on movie TV at the time. The rise of Professor Difficult and Bikilon. Today I'm excited to host Thomas Sipalo, well known as Professor Difficult. My dear brother, welcome to today's program and Happy New Year.
No, Happy New Year to you too. Kaya mlibwanji.
Tiribwino lero tizakamba chinyanja. Mwisho ifwe babe mbata tuwa ishiwe chinyanja.
Tamwishiwile, naise shishibile chibemba. Kasi tuwakula kamba chibemba na kula kamba chinyanja. Tuwakula punzi sana.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. People would like to know, you were very instrumental when you, stormed literally movie TV and provided the comic relief to many households across the country. But I don't know who the person is behind this Difficult, Professor Difficult. Who's Thomas Sipalo?
Well, Thomas Sipalo is just an ordinary Zambian. Mwana ubadira mkomboni, kukulira mkomboni. Somebody wamenana kana kuti ngatu wabadira mkomboni, nzeru sisifunga jabo nkalani komboni na vochita mkomboni. Somebody who believes in pushing and not having any limit. Somebody who always takes risks and somebody who is not scared to fail. Yeah. No, wonderful, wonderful introduction. How did you start this comedy? Where does this immense talent come from? Wow, I started acting when I was very young, basically apply math. Then I joined Patriotic Theatre Group. We used to do Zambia radio drama on ZNBC Radio 2. And we're also doing Sowelo. That's a Chewa section, that's Nyanja section at ZNBC. We used to do, Sowelo is like drama, but in Nyanja, the likes of the late Chanda Mwale, Mwale, a lot of them. And we're the youngest in that group. Me and my friend Lefson Goma, who also came to be known as Big Roy. We're also in the same group with Henry B.J. Piri. They call him Galande. I think a lot of people know him as Galande. We're together in Patriotic Theatre Group. So what used to happen is that we also actually used to do Play Seiko. But like around 2004, somewhere there, movie TV came up.
Emerged.
I think it was the first private television. Yeah. So it came up. Then I came up with this idea of saying, because by then we just used to do a lot of comedy in English, if you remember very well. Mostly it was like Nchizungu che. You go to Saga Playhouse if you want to do comedy.
Is that Chizungu?
If you do comedy in Chinyanja, you're going to come by drama and mafan. You understand? So I came up with an idea of trying to commercialize the comedy in the local language. Because we would do during Katumba Mwiri on ZNBC, we would do Yam Chinyanja, but it was called Sewero. But it wasn't like, commercialized.
Yes.
So I came up with the idea. I said, I spoke to Henry B.J. Piri, actually, Ngalande. I told Ngalande, I said, Ngalande, look, we've been doing drama for a long time. Don't you think it's time we start doing something in our own language? Something in Nyanja. Not
something like, local,
because, we are tired of, those days when you're doing comedy, you have to write, the scripts, the what, and everything. It was cumbersome. Then I said, no. But how are we going to be writing scripts in Nyanja? I said, no. What we're going to be doing is it will be situational comedy. We won't be writing any scripts. Actually, I can tell you to say, whatever we did with Bikron all those years, there was no script.
Wow.
You just put the camera there, you start talking about anything. Sometimes you don't even know what you talk about.
Yes,
but after some time, you tend to understand each other. So I spoke to Henry. I said, Henry, can we start a comedy, just the two of us? What are we going to be talking about? No, we just talk about a lot of things. No, it's like it dulled a bit. I went to Bikron. Bikron, can we start doing something? I've got this idea. We can do something in our local language, you know.
Yeah.
People are going to like it. No, because no one has ever done it. No, it will be. I said, no, we are going to start. We'll be the pioneers of it. Why? Then I went to Kulia Mangiza, Mlengalungu. I'm thinking, let's start doing something in our local language, you know. I think it can sell. Never, why? Then I stayed, I think, for about a year or so. Then Bikron came. Idea to I was thinking we can be two characters and we can just be talking about, you know, like political satire. We talk about different things. If you remember very well, the characters were based on, you know, real Komboni people talking about things that they don't understand. And sometimes that they talk sense, but in a satire way, you know.
Yes.
So that's how I went to approach Mr. Nyerenda and Angel Piri. I said, by then, Movie TV, manyimbo, you know, like test transmission. There had no programs by then.
Yes.
So I went to Mr. Nyenda and said, I think, sir, we are ready to
contribute content.
To contribute content and to open this TV station. He said, bring the scripts. I said, there are no scripts. He said, but how are we going to do something without a script? Because we need guidance. I said, we are going to guide ourselves. All we need is a platform and a camera. And by then, Movie TV only had one camera. Only one. The same camera would go for news, and they would, in the field, they would dash it back when it's time for news. Mu studio again, kubo using our cop. So, but okay, you agree with one news, how we are going to share the camera. That's how Angel Piri came, okay, Tentiambe. Our first task was to start now selling the UHF antenna, because, you know, for you to access Movie TV, you needed an antenna. Yeah. So he said, okay, Ambani antenna. Started that journey. They would just get the camera, no graphics. It was just raw material, unedited. If you insult, you insult. You make a mistake, you make a mistake. So they just got the camera, and when they're opening, they just used to put the hand in front and to move it, and we start talking. That was the cue. Within 2, 3, 4 days, people started talking about it. This difficult and big road. We'll talk about a lot of things, you know, governance issues, what. Believe you me, in 2 weeks' time.
How did you come up with the two characters? And, you know, especially the attire you'd wear, the costume.
Yeah. You know, it came from Patrick Magolo. Then we just like transformed from radio to TV. And, you know, understanding our characters from radio, I think this character can look like this, this character can look like this. And believe you me, first week, noise. Following week, Celtel came.
Yeah.
Sanyenda called me. Mulikoti. Nishitagula kwa tumafoni tuweze na president kuholiday. Tumkia kampeta. Phone. Where you come? Figure, no, I think there's a deal coming from Celtel. And we were the only program, apart from news, music, and Difficult and Big Round. There was nothing on Movie TV by then. He called me. No, there's this deal that is coming. I said, oh, okay, deal. No problem. No, so you need to sit down with them. And you know, by then, there were some Wazungus and stuff.
Yes.
So we had a meeting with them. No, I want to use you guys. What. I said, okay, no problem. So Zingat. By then, 3, like equivalent to, like I would say 30 pin now, I think, our money.
Like $1,500.
I think, something like that. So we sat in a meeting. So how much do you need? You know, by then it was million. We know you can give
before
us,
we rebased.
you can give us 3 million. 3 million. Said, you alone? Then I said, yeah. Said, okay, no problem. Oh, so 3 million. Okay, what you do is give us your account numbers. It's a deal. You come and sign the contract, we send the money. Said,
Tiribe
pasa. Tiribe ma account ife manje kuzanyereni. Kwenza kusegula ma account first. You know, by then they used to give us my checks.
Yes.
That's how we went there. We sent the contract na ma check.
Babi pasa,
Ati pasa. Bikro never sanitized how. There was an Indian guy in Kamala. You would buy, like, I don't know, a certain percentage of a check.
You would
buy something, then you would
on discount.
Exactly.
You discount what they call discounting a check.
Kwenze kuyenda kutuwa ndio afake mu account yona munga zata muliwa mwenye. Kama afu kugula mukapena anabuka kula chana, I remember. Same day. agulana motoka nairangana tadulikana ku playhouse then those now senior actors wajavenzo kambati nyanja can't work the programs varangana vafana vagula motoka within a few time naine kanga kachita machuwa nagula motoka tadulikira pa playhouse.
So it was a lot of money that you can buy.
It was a lot of money by then.
Ni motoka pwanja meno nagula.
Me I remember I bought a Toyota Lexus. And Bikron bought a Toyota Corolla. Pimped my dream, you know.
Yeah.
Charoich. Went to Zaga Playhouse. We back there where the Dons guy were the only ones driving now.
Yes.
Alanga Nawachikulire, believe you me, in 2-3 weeks' time, local comedy was everywhere. That was the beginning of now. Local programs, what. I think Panapita after about 2 weeks or so, Trade Kings came in. And they really helped us. You know, they also came now, nishitazwako tundrama, deal, tapunda foot. Takula futi mamotoka. It was all about, you know, showbiz.
So for the first time, comedy could be commercialized in Zambia.
Exactly. I think we helped commercialize the industry. Because you know what you used to do with ZNBC? You find that you work for 3 months. The money that you are going to get is even less than the transport that you are using to go there. And sometimes even just for you to be watched on TV, you need to have a very good connection. That was the problem. So you find that a lot of talent was not being discovered. But now with the coming of social media, I'm happy that at least now se gulirako njira. That's why when we did whatever we could, I just said, let me retire. Yes.
Did the political comedy bring you trouble?
It used to do that. But, you know, Mwanawasa, that period, it was during Mwanawasa and Rupia. Mwanawasa was a very good man. Would talk about him. Kumushuta zone. Now we see cheapo. What? Going to State House, because we had that program at January to State House, where we talk about real issues. Mwakamba. Weekend, there's a function at State House, the president wants to see you.
Nice.
You understand? And would, you know, say, Mamushuta. You come, you know, Professor, you know, I love what you do. I was watch you. And you know, you would just laugh over it without getting offended or upset, you understand? And you know, the first lady would be there, they would save us, and would just sit. It was just comedy, you know.
No, because you had become stars.
Yes.
You literally had become stars.
And sometimes you do even tell us, you know, about this, do this. And do this, tell the people about this. Say, okay, no problem. Then we find a way we talk. People complain, we'll shoot him again. But not a time that I remember where we were even threatened or what, no. Yes, cadres were there, but they would talk here and there. But you know, Mwanawasa was a no-nonsense man. I don't think if anyone had attacked us, he was going to be spared, you know. I really miss those days. It was good.
Yeah. No, this is before TikTok. This is before social media.
Yes, exactly.
This is before Facebook.
Exactly.
So people relied essentially either on live events or on television.
On television, yeah.
So when you decided to do, you know, political satire, why didn't you go to other social matters? Is it your personal interest in politics? Why political satire?
You know, we are all politicians in one way or the other. You know, if you disagree with politicians, then you yourself, you are being political. Again, if you agree with them, you are being political. If you choose to be neutral, the reason that are making you to be neutral are also making you to be political, because why aren't you agreeing with politicians? So in one way or the other, by nature, we are all politicians. There is no way we can just sit and watch things go bad, our communities, our leaders take advantage of our ignorance and our poverty in the compound and enrich themselves, and we just sit down and watch. No. It's time we also need to speak out. You know, politics, we are all politicians. It's only that it's either you are actively involved or you are in the background. But by nature, every human being is a politician.
Wonderful. You literally became like ambassadors for Trade Kings. I think you grew their products. What was the relationship? How did they realize that, in fact, because of your large audiences, Makomboni, you could actually sell their products?
You know, Trade Kings, that's why I always tell these guys that I do, because I do some business consultants. Sometimes people call me, we've got this that we need to that we need to market and everything, and I would go there. I would tell them, say, Trade Kings is where it is today because of the ideas. They're open-minded. They are not too commercial in the way they do their things, you understand? Because when we started, we would go in compounds because, the target audience was the people in the compound. So even when you are marketing your products...
Yeah, they do what they call fast-moving products.
Exactly.
So those detergents, soaps...
Exactly.
...require that you sell them...
directly to the people. Direct marketing, you do road shows, the people feel they are part and parcel of the product. We even did, what do you call that? It was Boom Be a Millionaire competition. I think you remember where we bought a lot of cars and we were giving the winners and everything, We are just like trying to bring the product down to the people. And today, Trade Kings is deep-rooted because they started from the bottom, going up. But we've seen a lot of companies that want to start from the top, going down. It's a bit of a problem because, money is with the masses. Because the masses don't budget. You eat, you spend according to what you have. Ngati mkomboni muntu haina ndalama.
Kulibe budget.
Kulibe budget ngati ni mwana kudya nkumba imozi vegetable ni kweo wazadia. Chikayuma futi chayuma. So money zili mu bantu. But otherwise I can't lie, Trade Kings took good care of us.
Were those your ideas or they were the ideas?
No,
or they just had a big media budget and supported your ideas?
You know how we used to work when Trade Kings started? We would sit down. There was nothing like this is the CEO of the company, this is the director. We would sit down and brainstorm. And everyone's idea, money, you're excited, you're young. You tend to...
In your work as an artist?
I think mostly, those days, as we were them seven of the comedy industry because, we monopolized the comedy industry, I think, for 5 years or so.
On TV.
So what we had mostly were fans and not critics. It was very difficult to criticize us because we were big by then, So when these guys started coming up, Nature new guys and everything, but I for one, I never faced any critics or anything. The only thing that came was that, fame comes with a lot of demand.
Yeah.
And because if you're famous and you've got money, you're excited, you're young, you tend to do a lot of things. You need guidance. That's where a lot of people lose it.
Yes.
When you start making money, fame, how it is to be a star, you can't shine forever. Even a star, comes a time
when it will
the
fade.
sun will come and it will fade, you understand? So when you have time as a celebrity, as a star, and it's your time to shine, make sure you utilize that time well. Because if you masira, you understand, upeze kama ija fame ya chokapo, ya feda, kwa bwera banyu, then you didn't utilize your opportunity well. Ndiye wajana upeze kama ni ma celebrities wana ukali maningi vilivo seva faka pa ukali, thinking mwanga wa museka and everything. No, you didn't utilize your time. That's why, you need to live a good life. But above all, make sure that whatever you are using for show off is just a fraction of what you are making.
Yeah.
Invest. Because, opportunities, talent, mostly it fades fast. Just like soccer. We've got a lot of soccer players that were very good in Europe and everything. Look at them today. They forgot one principle.
Yeah.
They never utilize that opportunity. So when an opportunity comes, use it. And that's what we are lacking. If possible, if it means having a manager or having a mentor who will tell you, young man, do this. But most of the artists in Zambia, they take an advice as jealousy, bitterness, and being old-fashioned. No, we've seen it all. We've seen it.
We saw with the rise of social media, we saw new stars that came on, Kesta and Kapembwa with Tiloa. Bob Nkosha was both famous, in your times.
Yeah.
And he
he's always been there.
Yeah, he's always been there. You had Shimumbi doing similar things that you were
No,
doing.
Shimumbi has always been there. Actually, on Shimumbi, a lot of people, came to know Shimumbi as Shimumbi. We used to act with Shimumbi a long time ago. And the best character that I loved.
Yes.
We used to do a character called Dr. Lambati. It was far much better than Shimumbi. But sometimes God has got his own way of trying to bring you out.
Yes.
The only name that's sold is Shimumbi. But Aubrey,
Dr. Lambert,
Aubrey. I used to laugh my lungs out. Used to be Dr. Lambert, but it never, I don't know,
never
for
picked,
whatever reasons. But the guy is talented. He's a very good comic dramatist. He's very good because, you know, comedy comes in different ways. You know, there is political comedy, you do satire, there is stand-up comedy, there is situational comedy, there's dramatized comedy, you know. So all these are different categories.
So my question was, how come you really didn't migrate from TV to social media, your comedy?
I believe in leaving the stage when people are still clapping. You know, sometimes you can't be doing same things over and over. We had our time. 5 years was enough time for me. I said, no, I think now I just need to start now nurturing young talent, you know, teaching them what to do here and there. Yeah, otherwise...
How are you helping, mentoring young people?
No,
how are you supporting them? Are you still involved in the arts industry?
I do, but I'm in the background. Most of the time they would come to me for advice and I would help them do this, do that. If it means writing scripts, I'll write scripts, give them in the background, give them ideas, okay, do this, do that. But without being in front of the camera, because I feel,
Yes, yes. In fact, now that leads me to the big question. Many people were surprised in the last elections, 2021.
Yeah.
You participated as an independent candidate in Munali Constituency. And in fact, for us that follow the politics, you literally won that election.
Yeah.
When did you become a politician? How were you connected to Munali Constituency? Vanami's Mabwanj Mawadzi Yonse and the numbers you polled. Just when did you go into politics?
Ambassador Mwamba, I'm a marketer. I've sold products that people didn't know and they knew it within a short period of time. What can stop me from marketing myself? You understand? You know, the Munali seat, I joined the race a bit late. And the reason was, you know, I've been vocal where politics are concerned from the background. I criticize Manawasa, I would criticize even Arabi, despite him giving me, you know, having shared that personal relationship. But I used to criticize him as well. So I would speak out. I'm the kind of person who likes to speak out. But I think enough is enough. We've talked too much from the terraces. Let's also join in. Because if you have to look at our politicians now, it's same people, same faces.
Yes.
Mwena ni mwena. Waichosa mkalimba famu, waiponyera muzambezi, waichosa mujo, waipereka mruangwa. It's still a crocodile. You know, we are not developing because, you know, politics is supposed to be a service and not a full-time career.
Yes.
That's the problem that we are. But, you know, we are seeing people who've been in politics for 30, 40 years, representing a particular constituency. Are you telling me in 40 years, kulibecha mwana oromoza na batuwako wanzeru, wamenanga taking it over? Because me, what I believe in is, you know, even creativity, at a certain stage, you get stuck. You need people now, new people to start feeding you.
Like you walked away from the comedy industry.
From comedy, you understand? I knew to say, I've done my part, let the new guys come on board. So 2021, I grew up in Munali Constituency, and I can tell you that Munali Constituency, we've never had an MP that will say, you. Maybe Mumbipire was the person who was like more social, more available, you understand? But most of the MPs that we've had in Munali, they're absentee MPs, and most of them were coming from Kablonga Ward and everything. They would just impose them. And you know, this idea of voting for political parties, where, you know, if you belong to political party A, whoever is going to stand from
vote for him.
Cancela what, even if Oropakati Pabisama Chipu, I'm voting Rakumozi. You know, is where we are going wrong as a country. Sometimes, you know, politics, yes, political parties should be used as clubs. But candidates need to be scrutinized.
Yes.
Okay, fine. This is Emmanuel Mwamba here, standing as MP. You know, and there's this one from my party, standing as MP. Who is better between Emmanuel and this one? We say, but Emmanuel is far much better than this one from my party. You vote for Emmanuel Mwamba because when service delivery starts coming, you'll be part of it. You understand? Yes. You can't vote for failure simply because you belong to the political party. No. You know, we need to change the mindset. So 2021,
Yeah, because
the candidates came out.
You know, I'm a voters with Sophie Wawa. Party president, party fire. Everyone was.
No, it's wrong. And me, that's what I'm discouraging. Because Ronan, you find that maybe president, maybe na MP in Manzero, Kansera maybe in Chipua. Just because you belong to that political party, mzafungo voter won't say. No, scrutinize, because at the end of the day, after voting, if these guys are not performing, whatever decision they are making are affecting us as a people. If you yourself, you are not affected, definitely even Mabrubako, they are also affected. So when voting, we need to be very careful. Let's vote for the people that we know that are going to deliver, not because of the people that we just mingle with. No.
Yeah.
You can be a friend to somebody else, but you can't vote for that person because you know, I will lead the Swanga Kwanis.
Munali is very populous, has a huge population.
Exactly.
Manambas in the branch.
Since wanakwamena na nchirira. Sininga kuna many because Munali has got 6 wards. And all the 5 wards, I think. Namuina kuipa mwe.
Yes.
Solo kwa nana winira olorero. Nimetari kakalapansi chete ndungundu. Naganiza. Anapitira pansi. But anyway, at the end of the day, vinachitika.
Yes.
You know, I believe in...
Because many people, when the results came out and, you know, you had been leading in many polling stations. I think that's when you
almost all the polling stations.
All the polling stations were leading. And then at the end, they announced another winner, you know, your brother, Mike Imposha. I think a lot of people said petition. Why is not the petition?
You know the reason why? I'd started the petition.
Okay.
But you know the reason why I didn't continue the petition is one thing. When you go to court, they always ask for Gin 20s. You know those Gin 20s, huh?
Yes.
Gin 20s to show to the court to say, I got these results, these numbers, you understand?
When they put my monitors.
No, my monitors were there, but what happened was, when the president, by then, Edgar Lungu, considered defeat, you know, Munali was the last constituency to be announced.
Yes.
By then, power had already changed, you understand?
Okay.
So what happened was, all those monitors were just Titako protective, PF, because it was a big party. They decided to run away, because the strategy that I had used was the strong, fluffy in between of two bulldogs, you understand?
Yeah.
Because I knew to say, because I joined that list very late. I only campaigned for a month, you know. So I knew to say, we've got PF, which is a very big party, but they've got a weak candidate. And we've got UPND, which is also a very big party, but they've got a weak candidate. And these 2 candidates, they can't beat me, I can beat them. As we are very small. So we are going to hide in between.
Yes.
So that if UPND want to steal our votes, PF won't allow. You understand? And if PF want to steal, UPND won't allow, because these were 2 big parties. But now, when PF lost, when the president said I've lost, all of them ran away from their polling stations.
Okay.
Then now our team became very small and vulnerable. You understand? So it was easy to do whatever they could do.
And so you didn't collect the Gin 20s?
They were not even allowed to be given the Gin 20s, because when we demanded for them, soldiers came and started beating my people there.
Oh, shame.
You understand? So you find that they all Chakunkula ward there. And part of, I think, 2 constituencies or so in Munali, I think about 12 or so constituencies, I didn't have the Gin 20s. And that's where there were some queries, you know. Yeah. So it was very difficult for me to go to court to continue that matter. I was just going to lose money for nothing, you know. At the end of the day, you need to pay some legal fees and everything. So I just said, no. After all, I've done well, because I, for one, I know from deep down my heart to say I did very well and I'm proud of myself. So I just said, okay, 2026 is coming. We are going to meet. You understand?
Do you intend to stand in?
I'm standing, not intent. Intent is just trying to. I'm standing again.
Yeah.
Sinasire, yes. I lost, and our MP is there. But believe you me, I'm going to. You
began the work to speak to the.
I've never left my constituency.
Yeah.
Every day when I'm there, people asking me the same question. No, why didn't you petition? Actually, there was even a rumor. No, I think vanamugula.
Yeah.
No, it was just
because you were leading. You were very strong, and you were such a surprise candidate.
You understand? It's only that, you know, on technicalities, I was not going to win that case in court, because the court was going to say, okay, fine, we want to call for a recount, but can you produce the Gin 20s to prove, to say, polling station kwa so unadiaso, uku unadiaso. But the Gin 20s were not there. So I was just going to be making noise, actually, and waste court's time. You understand? So I don't like to cry when I fall. I believe in standing up and be stronger more than before.
In fact, that is a hallmark about you, because you didn't cry about the loss, you just went straight. Your Facebook account is very, very active. I think you comment on political matters, you criticize, you provide checks and balances. I think you've provided a good transition and keeping both the country active and following you on the issues that you raise. Sometimes there are a lot of cowards around, but you are not one of them, because you raise the hard issues. Why haven't you joined a political party? You've still remained independent, and I like the way you call yourself Komboni President. Why Komboni President?
You know, I don't believe in these issues of belonging to institutions.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they tend to limit your thinking, your critics. You know, being a good leader does not mean that you need to belong to any institution. No. Even just having an independent mind, you can make a good leader. Because all those leaders who belong to institutions, it's just a jazz, but at the end of the day, they represent the people from the compound. That's why I call myself Komboni President, because I represent the masses. I speak for them. You know, I witness hunger, poverty, and everything. I'm from there. I'm with them all the time. And I know how it feels to come out of poverty, out of the ghetto, you know, to be where I am. Yes, I might not be rich, but I'm okay. But what about my friends who are down there? Because for us to just get out of the compound and everything, it was a struggle. But there are those who are not strong. So, belonging to a political party, I need to belong to a political party that we are going to have similar ideologies on how we are going to take care of the people. You understand? Because what I believe in is leadership is so about the people. It's not about enriching yourself. Yeah. But so far, most of the political parties that are here, I'm just seeing bitter people, and people just want to enrich themselves, which sometimes I don't agree with. That's why I find that even on social media, today UPND will do something good. I'll say, okay, fine, you've done well. But if they've done something bad, I speak it out as it is. I've lost a lot of friends because of this. And what I don't like again is political enmity. Just because Emmanuel Mamba belongs to PF, this does not mean he's not my friend, or he's not my brother, or I should just forget about him. No, you are still my brother, because we are all Zambians at the end of the day. We are one people. We can talk, we can do business together. Let not politics, you know, bring divisions. But the politics that I'm seeing is not inspirational, especially to me, where I know there's too much division.
Yeah, if you belong to UPND, then you are an enemy of PF.
Yes,
if you belong to PF, you're an enemy of UPND.
If they just...
And you can't meet, you can't discuss
talk,
ideas.
you can't do anything.
In fact, if you meet, there'll be suspicions.
You today, Manu Mwambe, if they just see you with maybe, let's say, Mwali Teta, then that's it. The UPND will start talking, and the PF will start talking. What were they talking about? No. At the end of the day, we are humans. Let's take politics like a game. There's no need of killing each other. This is just politics. It's a game. Those who win, okay, they'll win. But the most important thing is let the people that vote for us, let the Zambians, whether they vote for us or not, let them benefit from the leadership. Because, you know, one time I can give you an example on how just bad this enmity is. I went to memorial service for the late Michael Sata.
Yeah.
Then there was President Lungu there, seated with, you know, Given Luinda and then big people, and everyone was going there to greet him. Then he saw me, Sipalo. I went there. I was happy to see him after a very long time. You know, after the election, he disappeared. Then I was happy to see him. Then I went there, I knelt down, greeted him.
President.
Hey, my handshake brought problems. My own hand.
Yeah.
I lost friends from UPND. No, why did you greet him? Why not HH? Was he there? If I'm to meet him, I'll greet him also. Why is it that you always have problems when I mingle with the people from PF, but when I mingle with the people from UPND, you don't have a problem. I'm independent, for God's sake. Me, my job in politics is to get whoever is going to sell to each party. I can go to PF members, try to get PF members. I can go to UPND, steal their members. I can go to Socialist Party, finish Pan Chamuriokera. I can go there and get members. You understand? Yeah. I'm independent and don't belong to anyone. No, it brought issues. It trended. I think you saw the picture.
Yes, I did.
You know, there was talking. Some friends, no, we can't trust you. Trust me for what? Have you given me any sensitive information? It's just a greeting. That's the man that I've known even before he became president. Yeah. So what's wrong with me greeting him? You see, so that's just the extent of hatred that we have in politics. And to me, it's not something that I love. Yeah. I don't like it because at the end of the day, we are one Zambia, one nation. Our patriotism needs to be for the country and not for a political party or individuals. No. Ineyoni makana. Yeah. Better nankala loyo ku country than kunkala loyo kuli muntu or kuchipani.
Bantu mukomboni wakambatu vakosa vintu. What is your reflection of President Hakainde Hichilema, his government, the last 2.5 years? I'm asking this because people went to vote. They thought things would be better. They voted for President Hakainde Hichilema thinking, Milimio will come down. And especially that the president used to say...
No, it's not thinking, Anabauza.
Anabauza. No, Milimio will be 50 kwacha. Fuel will be 12 kwacha. Exchange rate is ankala 12 kwacha. Fertilizer Zambia to 250 kwacha will be giving you $8. He promised them all this. What are your reflections?
The truth of the matter is background event valimba. If I say background, I'm not just talking about cadres. There are people who don't believe in politics. And you know, as politicians, that's why we need to be very careful with what we promise.
Do you think President Hakainde Hichilema overpromised?
No, he overpromised. I'm not even thinking. He overpromised. He overpromised. You know, if you overpromise, the expectations of the people become high. It's even better sometimes you underpromise and you overperform. But he overpromised and is underperforming. That's what I'm seeing. Because expectation from the people is too much. You know, when he talks about 50 kwacha, unga, what, people are excited. And they expected that. Now that it's not happening, I'm only kamonga nwaboza. But if he had said unga was cheaper without giving a figure, it was going to be better. You understand? So the president overpromised. Maybe because he was outside. You know, bola ukankala mu materases kumankala sembe person daka chaya head up. But wakakuponya mu ground ndi panoza unakuti bola ivuta ulo kuyimika. You understand? So things are not okay. And again, another thing, I think, you know, I'm lucky to have been alive both time ya UNIP. Okay, or napeza na UNIP aliko kumalasi, but UNIP time at least I was big enough to listen. Pabera MMD, Pabera PF, Pabera UPND. The problem which I'm seeing with UPND, one, to me, they want to act too corporate. In the sense that they feel an ordinarily less educated Zambian is so ignorant that they can't feel anything, they've got no say, and they don't understand anything in terms of governance. But one thing you need to understand that there's a big difference between intellectualism and wisdom. Most of the leaders in UPND today are intellectuals, but they lack wisdom. If you have to look at the president, to me, UPND is HH. And HH is UPND. That's it. Without HH on top there, UPND can't be there. Because most of his ministers, his cabinet, most of them ni madeko chabe mwe.
Ni madeko.
Ni vija monga va munda vija vopishira kwa nkuku vambita kache vopisha makwale vija uti kwale akashansha angadi. They are doing nothing. It's only him alone. They are not helping him. And the gap between, you know, communication, me what I believe in communication. Communication between leadership and the people on the ground. They are just noisemakers. You know, no one is explaining to the people to say, why don't like wear every day? Why ungauli 350? Why is it that Vinduvina Vantina Promisa, we haven't done them? No one is coming out to open. The only thing is, if you ask on Facebook, they'll say, you are bitter. Because you lost. Yes, I lost, but even HH lost. Analuza Gangat. Kapan Kari 6 is my inspiration. So I'm remaining with 5 times. The 6th time also I'll win. You see? So there's no, UPND praise singers are not tolerant. That's the problem. And they don't respect the, different
do you
views.
Think this army of praise singers they have raised could be harmful to President Hakainde Hichilema?
They are.
Because I think he when you hear the president speak, president,
but me, what I see is the biggest, that's why I always say, the biggest enemy of HH, or President HH, are praise singers. because no one has got the guts to tell him the truth of what is obtaining on the ground. So the danger is, by the time he's going to get the reality of what is happening on the ground, believe you me, things will be bad, because Zambians, mind you, move on 2 years before an election year.
Yeah.
Door to door, they can't vote for you. So UPND has got this year. If the president will be too comfortable in his comfort zone without getting back to the people that voted for him, 2026 won't be easy.
What are the issues people are complaining about?
The economy, Ndrama faces a vuta. The cost of doing business is very high. So these who are doing cross-border businesses, dollar, every day. And no one is even explaining to say, okay, fine, the effects of dollar is global or is what. They're just quiet. Yeah. And people are just watching it. So now people, instead of, there's lack of communication between the leadership and the people that are being ruled. So people now are now just listening to whoever is talking. But at the end of the day, things are not okay.
And you can't do propaganda with the economy.
No, propaganda nanjala. Oloshite propaganda uzafenda kaidi nanjala. You can't do propaganda because the economy is visible. It's not something that is that you can just imagine. It's the truth. Things are not okay because mundu azalangana lero aenda ndogula bread 18 kwacha. 2 kwacha agula kashuka kwa pima. The following day aenda apeza bread in 20 kwacha. Nocho kako na kashuka. You understand? Azaona so economy ever see so. We are not economists, but we can tell save into valimba. Ndawa ifandi manga lako na matiki. Mahasala otamanga zitivuta manji watu mo an ordinary person. Niyo economy pave background niyo kosa. It's time HH changes his cabinet. Most of his ministers there are just wasting his time. Yes, I know they are loyal to the party, but the question, are they doing the right thing?
You think he should do reshuffles? Huh?
You need to do reshuffles and fire some. He just has to, because they're not doing anything. All team. Timu si oneka ground coach afunika kuchinja ma player hiyo player mpaka pavena kupa bench angenesa kwa javanze. Mwaona ka? Because ngati coach waya kuchinja timu mkungo luza. Ma support hapo chosa po hiyo.
Babwelo chosa coach.
Yes, because mwana opusa tu kanisa makolo. That's what they say. You understand? Huh? So mwana opusa tu kanisa makolo.
Yeah.
You find that it's the ministers who are misbehaving. But people now will be saying,
I'm blaming the president.
I'm blaming the president. It's more like you are raising children, you are naughty. They'll be saying, they'll be insulting you, you understand? So now what the president needs to do is to reshuffle. It's time he moves. If he's trying to reward those guys because they've been loyal to the party, let's now bring the people. Yes, Badiako. Let's now bring the people that are going to work for the country. Because now it's a matter of loyal to the party or performing for the government. Because that's where we are. Most of the people, yes, they are loyal to the party. But are they doing justice to government? The answer is no. It's time the president hears the truth. But the problem is, if you appoint people who are scared of you as advisors, it becomes a problem. Most of the people that surround the president, I doubt if they tell him the truth. Because what the president says when he's on TV or on radio is parallel to what is what is happening on the ground.
Like he lives in another alternate reality.
Exactly. Me, I remember very well. When we lost power, I was part of MMD. When Arabi, may his soul rest in peace, lost power. Then I think I went to South Africa, then came back. Then I went to his place, we had a conversation, and he told me that, being a president is like you're in prison. Most of the people that come to you are those that want favors from you. So it's very rare that somebody will be courageous enough to tell you to say, Mr. President, things are not okay. Most of the people that will come there, they'll just come, so how did you, Emmanuel Mamba, how is Kasama? No, Kasama is fine, the people love you, Mr. President. Actually, when they heard that I was coming, I'll talk to the president, things are fine, you understand? Because they are protecting their jobs. By the time reality comes out, you'll find that you've lost touch with the ground. It will be too late. So,
has this government lost touch with our people?
Too much. Too much. Most of the people that I talk to on Facebook, to me, it's like they are living in another country. If you go on the ground, it's all a William. Because including the UPND structures, they've been neglected. How many people are crying? How many people fought for UPND? But they're not, you know, they are living in absolute poverty. You know, some of the people were fired from from their jobs because they openly campaigned for UPND. How many people have been reinstated back in employment? Nothing. You understand? You know, UPND to me has got brilliant ideas, you know, but implementation is where the problem is. There is no proper implementation. They will come up with a brilliant idea, but with that implementation, implementation is zero. So the president needs a team that is going to help him implement. Otherwise, if he's not going to, you know, that's why sometimes me, I respect Mwanawasa. May he so rest in peace. Mwanawasa never looked at his own members. He used also to source other members. Those who are intelligent, they will say, okay, Mwamba is good at maybe agriculture. They will bring him in their team, but he belongs to another political party. You know, they will get some people. You don't just, you know, if you lack players, get other people. We've got a lot of people who don't belong to any political parties, but they are very wise. Yeah. You know, and you know, the funny part about people who are very wise is mostly they don't engage themselves in politics. Yeah. Yeah. He can get those. Bring them, remove some of the people. Mongo wako agriculture, we have Africa out. Wako labor out. You know, so that he brings in new ideas if he wants to succeed. But if he's going to maintain his team for the sake of loyalty to the party, believe you me, 2026 won't be easy. You know, it's time he needs to adopt what I call a lizard formula. Lizard formula. By
Thomas Sipalo.
You grew up in Komboni President. George. So, munaona lizard vana machita. If an enemy attacks the tail, what does the lizard do? Imagine wako mchira. Mchira ona tu mchira uzani pa some problems. Au juba asunga mutu. Because as watu mchira uzani paisa nika usunga for a long time. And that's what the president is lacking. Let him act like a lizard.
Kujuba
ko mchira wamene michira zipanga te asefingako mutu. You understand? But now if he wants to go with them all the way, even those people that have lost popularity, you know, they've lost reality to, like, on the ground, he just want to go with them. 2026
is a vote.
You
started talking about cholera, you know, because cholera, it affects our people, Makomboni. And you started talking about it in October, and people didn't listen to you. How did you know about cholera, that there was an outbreak in October? Before even government announced, you started talking about it.
Yes, and actually when I started announcing, I was even told, you are not the Minister of Health. Hey, stop harming the nation. Others were even, you know, placing were even issuing threats. What happened was, on my birth at that point, 4th October,
on your man of independence.
Muntu badwe pa 3 April. No plan. 24th October.
Yes.
You know, I'd actually, prior to that day, I'd gone to Kalingalinga clinic there. I was having fever and stuff. Nafika kuja, then they wanted to get temperature. When zozinga kasapumita kamozi kakudala nako kononge kofuni kutoka chita so spirit. So nafunza kamera kate na keve skali bwino. So practically they didn't have a thermometer. So I said, what can I do? I bought my thermometer, infrared thermometers, where, you know, you don't need to, you know, because of COVID and have no contact, you just do. So I bought those thermometers. I took to Kalingalinga. Unfortunately, I was told some MP somewhere told them most of using because of natural quality difficult. But anyway, I did it for the people, not for the MP. Never mind up my private. So that's how I went there. When I went there, out of interest, I saw many Swenango Varamagravu, Machan, from the other side of the clinic. Because me, I grew up there. I saw that clinic being built, so I understand it better.
Yes.
So now, out of interest, I asked somebody, Nanga ukunchana, atinwadia cholera. That was in October.
Yes.
So I said, I said, cholera. There's cholera actually munina ma patient. And by then, the government was quiet. So I knew to say, we are in trouble.
Yeah.
Then I wrote on Facebook, I said, we might have cholera in Lusaka. Hey, the backlash.
Yes, I remember.
No, you are just a hater. Hey, you are what? You are what?
Bitter.
You are what? You are bitter.
You are alarming the nation.
You know, I'm not the kind of person, if I stand for the truth, I'm not a person who back off. Even if you are 1 million people, as long as I know that this is the truth. I don't. They came, insulted me, we fought on Facebook. I posted again.
Yeah.
We've got cholera. We've got
Yes.
cholera. Up to now, this is when now the government now realized. The problem with our government is that they are too reactive. I mean, they love to react. They are reactive. They are not proactive. You understand? They want something to happen. Then this cholera is manageable. It's preventable.
How can we manage it?
By making sure that people have got clean water and there's a constant supply of water. Mtendere here.
Yeah.
The issue of water ni yakudala. Karikiriki, is it a month or so ago? They had no water for a month plus.
Yeah.
You know? And the funny part is, that's why this is what I'm saying, that UPND, they've got good ideas, but implementation.
Poor.
Right now, I was just reading somewhere where the Minister of Sanitation and Water Development, who is also my rival in Munali, Mposha, saying that they want to bury my toilet so that one was using a flushing. But the question is, if there is no constant supply of water, flush a branch.
And two, the sewerage lines
They are
you
not
have to
there.
create to flush Vizainda
Kuti, because look, in Tendere what? There was Irevo. Irevo came, they did Vijavama, Suwa, Malaini and everything. Now when I was at Fikirani ma toilet.
Yeah.
The people agreed and they were happy. Kai iluzi wa kuflash afetna kulia Komboni jani chizungu. Ipasa nako ule. Kuchirai yama squatting.
Yeah.
So, wanafikira bantu, eh? Then yapo wapezeka manzi, yapezeka kambiri kulibe. So, waza flashing up one. So, what used to happen is, wandu zapeza tusiku, wamba manje kuonongera manje muma plastiki, machemba, utapa uligone, usiku wa vitaya yadi mwako. Now, Zambia gets kufipe now kuvita transfer food, matuvirization, find after me yadi mwinangu, you understand? So,
my God.
Manzi, first. Manzi, yes, then call it a chiamba. First, before we tell the people to say, bury your toilets, bury your shallow wells, let's make sure that they've got access to clean water. And water, the flow of water is constant.
Yeah.
Because you can't have flushable toilets without water.
No.
Nima ayo manje ni na hivi vova directive wa mako. Nishimanje yo manje ni matenda menimuleta. Mwaona they did vanacha got Counter Square today as I'm speaking. Masua system
blocked,
blocked, flowing just like that, you know. Then you expect cholera to finish. What is happening in Counter Square also is water. Manje alipe power because wanafaka to mapipe tungona. Imagine ija ni Komboni wantu ni wambili. Mafaka ka pipe kangono. Manyumba maybe yali 20, 30.
No pressure.
Using a pipe imozi, yeah. You want say maybe sometimes not even 30, sometimes many pipe and maybe manyumba or 60. Using a pipe imozi. Imagine 20 people go to the toilet at the same time. Mwamvera wa flash. We are using a boxy, we are using a chan. Palasi vizanda vitajani vivale moja because manzi pressure alibe maningi. Ofupereka kutivende kumtumbi. You understand? So what we need first is water.
Yeah.
If we have water, ndipa manje zao that tent pange manje maflashable toilet. Tapanga water, tapanga bwino masua line yoenda paka kuma mtumbi kuja. Then now people can be connecting. Wanda wa connected. But if we are just going to rush to say fikirani ma toilet mumange yo flash ndrama face kuli bantu zachoka kuti.
Yeah.
People are broke and just building a toilet ko flash you need a good 3-4 pin. Uzaichosa kuti. It's a long term project which need to start first with water.
Yes.
Manzi then pangono tweta phase out tende tabwanje. Tichoka. Then also service delivery. If you go in a lot of compounds right now mulivinyala la furu. And you know, council has contracted.
Garbage. Are they collecting garbage, for example?
No, some other areas, because people don't pay. They are broke. So, garbage
Oh, garbage collection.
Garbage collection
because households are levied.
Exactly. So you find that maybe this house is not paying. What do? Waleka kutenga. Then you are jamanje usiku vikapaka vimabini. Wasakira chabarika place usiku endo vitaya. That's why you find that kulima hipu yachani yama garbage. So even that, we need to make garbage levies very affordable for every person. For as long as the levies ya garbage yaliko high, ka economy skali mushe, it will be a problem because bambili wakaingiwa kulipira makombonyo. So that's why what I want to do now, God willing, I just want God to bless me with a bit of money. I've got some tippers, I've got a grader. I just want to be getting for free for those who can afford.
Wow.
You know, those who can't afford to pay. Kwenda chapi masata dowanya mulirako, because at the end of the day, cholera ikabwera, sisanga.
Yeah.
And kupusa kwa cholera igwira wakilini, what do you decide wa?
Wakilini wameneza.
Ndiyo wamena ilimbikira ni huko. Unapesa kwa funta dola cholera.
Kulibe.
Imu yopa na eve sifu na ifuna wachi pale manuwe mwamba aduale cholera aseva nyike. You know simatenda ya bwino yaji.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you know COVID you can say no night engera mundeke but cholera. But nozira tuti dot.
Yeah.
You understand? So as government we also need to be sensitizing the people. There is no harm at telling the people the truth. Cholera ya bwera tizachita branch. You understand? Huh?
Yeah.
Then another thing is, you know, cholera now is here. Let's not politicize it.
Yeah.
We are all Zambians. We are all affected. We are losing our beloved ones. Let's work together. Let's help government. I know when zwana gona, when zwana mungatu angabise, swanga uze bantu. But osa ivala.
Yeah.
Matenda ungabise kwa mamaliro sunga bise. Cholera is here. So let's not politicize it. Let's work together. PF, what, all the political parties. Let's put our heads together. Let's
Matenda ungabise. Repeat that.
Matenda ungabise kwa mamaliro sabisika.
Yeah.
You understand? So let's work together as all political parties. Let's put politics aside. Let's work together. Let's help them. Ngati nkubakondema. Tenti kabakondeme cholera ikasira. Ndeba nzaka moti munaitaya tenti chite manje so tenti chite so tenti chite so. But for now, calling upon all the political parties. Now, UPND, sometimes try to exercise, you know, politics, open doors where you can even get ideas from even those people that don't like you, as long as they're telling the truth.
The PF
try to
wanted
listen.
to go and clean Central Business District. Wanawakanila, imwe, sindimwe, you know, those issues.
And I condemned that. I said if it was me, it was within my rights, I was going to allow PF to clean. You understand? Because what they're fighting for is not politics. Sometimes let's look beyond politics.
Yes.
You understand? Cholera is here. Whether and sirangana kutuli na voters card ndiwe chipanichi ndiwe PF ndiwe ndani cholera igwira ali onse. Hii problem ya bwerera tonse. So tisakondemane problem ya fika kudala. Let's look for the solution. Yeah. Because wherever there's a problem, there's a solution. And the solution is we need to come up with a committee, we sit down together, different ideas. Let's put them up together so that next year, cholera is ankare, because cholera can be prevented.
Yes, yes, yes. As we come to the end of the program, there are many people that don't want to participate in elections. They don't want to participate in offering leadership like you have. What is your encouragement as we go towards 2026?
You know, just like what I told you, to say the reason why they don't want to involve themselves in politics is because they're being political. Okay. What we need to do is let's participate. Let's help our leaders, whether it's PF leadership, it's UPND, it's what. You know, let's help these leaders. Let's not stop talking about things that affect us.
Yes.
We shouldn't just be used. You know, if you are just complaining and you are not participating, it becomes a problem because you will be complaining forever. Ideas, join the battle. Come forward. Let's work. The youths. Yeah. Also, don't just say no. We'll just be used. What we need now is to help these madalas. Midala Zambiri, my ideas yasira. The time is us for young politicians, young Zambians to come together, to unite and rescue our country. Because if we are just going to sit down and watch these madalas rule us, believe you me, you can't have idea ya kudala with solving a solution ya manji. These were a BBC born before computer. They don't understand anything. Look at our economy right now. Yeah. Are you telling me kulibeche economist anabadwako mkali wananga chira msokotwane from Kapena 19 chan? We've got young economists. Yeah. You know, vibrant, you know, who understand today's global market and everything. But mkungo leta midala za kudala. Lekani wankaleko ma advisor. Mziwa olokwatu mako kuma ambassador in charge of finance and what. But let's have fresh minds now. Yeah. It's time to bring fresh ideas, fresh minds. And another issue that I want to talk about is the issue of tribalism. Yeah. You know, I for one, I come from Western Province. Yeah. But
in fact, people think you come from Eastern Province because you come from Chinyanja.
No, I mean, I grew up in Lusaka, so the only language that I know is Chinyanja. I speak, yes, a bit of Western languages here and there. I can speak Loza, I can speak Koya, I can speak, you understand. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it's one Zambia, one nation. We are one people. Let's love one another. Let's respect each other. Yes, we might have different political affiliations. That does not mean we are enemies, no. We are one people. Let's love each other. Let's make sure that we develop this Zambia. Let's love the country. Let our patriotism be for the country, not for a political party. Because what I'm seeing that most people are patriots of their political parties are not to the country.
Yes.
Because political parties will come, political parties will go, but Zambia will still remain. And if we are destroying Zambia today, it's our children and our great-grandchildren that are going to suffer. And they will laugh at us.
Yeah.
Because our forefathers fought for our independence. It's time we put Zambia in the right channel.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. And thank you for the insights that you've provided. We've come to the end of the program. To our dear viewers and listeners, today we're featuring Honorable Thomas Sipalo, a comedian, TV personality, celebrity in this country, activist, and now politician. Thomas, thank you very much, and thank you for your time. So good day. Until we have another program, God bless you, God bless this country, and shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.